Are you dying to third parties? If you want to start winning third party situations, this is the video for you. What's going on, guys? Rob Plays here. In this video, I'll be going over how to survive third parties. At some point in Battle Royale games, third parties are inevitable. This video will describe how to conduct yourself in a 3v3 to be better prepared for third parties, and how to position yourself for once that third party arrives or when you're third partying a fight. Stick around at the end because my positioning method is pretty unique. You might just learn something. How you manage 3v3 situations is the biggest factor in whether or not you can survive a third party. Here are 4 tips to keep in mind. Number 1, close the distance as quickly as possible. Mid-range pokes have their place, but team wipes happen at close range. Your goal from the start of the fight should be to get to close range. If you struggle to do that, you need to practice micro mechanics. Check out my other videos for some ideas. Tip number 2, end the fight as quickly as possible. Drawn out fights get third partied. Your goal here is to end the fight in 30 seconds or less. Number 3, try to keep all 3 teammates up. Classic situation, you have 2 guys knocked and your teammate is at low health and in a 1v1. Trade out. Trade out when you're weak. If you get knocked, you guys wipe the team, but then a third party arrives. Now they need to res you before they can reset. Unfortunately, you guys are going back to the lobby. You need to aim to keep all 3 teammates up in every fight. And number 4, reset immediately after the fight. When you get that team wipe, shield swap and immediately look around for a third party. All too often that third will get there as soon as your fight ends. You need to have shields on and start applying pressure to raise your chance of survival. Up until now, I talked about how to fight a 3v3 in order to be better prepared for a third party. Now let's say you're fighting and a third party does arrive. The key to survival here is positioning. Listen, I know it'd be cool to just post up and wipe both teams, but pros don't even pull this off consistently. So when a third party arrives and you're in the middle of a fight, it's time to reposition. What I'm going to explain here, some players understand intuitively, but plenty don't, and the majority that do probably won't be able to explain it. So there are 3 concepts you need to consider for positioning in third-party situations. And you're considering all 3 of these concepts at the same time. One just gets added to the next, none of them take precedence over the others. To begin, number 1, imagine both teams are repelling you. Imagine the map is a 2D plane. If you're in a 3v3 here, and the third party arrives from here, imagine both teams are pushing you away. Where would you go? Out this way. So this applies to any angle the third party comes from. Imagine both teams are repelling you away. The safest place to be is the direction that they push you to. Next, for consideration number 2, the optimal place to be in a third party situation is in a straight line from the other team with the team pinched between you. This sounds contradictory to point number 1, but you need to consider both of these points at the same time to figure out the best place to reposition. If we look at the situation from before and we apply rule number 1, then the right way to go is this direction here. But if we apply rule number 2, then it would say that you should push out this way to pinch the team in the middle. The right move is often an arc between both of these forces. At all times when you're third partied, you should reposition somewhere between where both teams are pushing you and where you can work together to pinch another team. And in most situations, you can choose between either of these concepts. Use factor number 1 to run away, or land in a position of factor number 2 if you plan to continue to aggress. Either is a fine option. And for factor number 3, consider the map. The map is interactive. Factors 1 and 2 are good guidelines for where you should go to start running, but you should make slight deviations based on the actual map. Let's say there's a building over here, for example. The right place to go is to that building, restabilize, start applying pressure to prevent the push, and then apply more and more pressure to pick people off in the fight. Those are the factors you need to consider for positioning in third-party situations. You could choose any one factor, or more often a combination of these 3 factors to find the right place to survive and maybe score some KP. So guys, to recap, there are things that you can do in every 3v3 to increase your chance of success. But if you are still fighting and you're third partied, think of the cleverest direction to reposition, restabilize, and participate from this new spot. Use these tips in your VOD reviews and I guarantee you'll find some opportunities for improvement. Now, are there other situations out there? What happens if you're 4th or 5th partied, or pressured in final circle or in zone? Yes, these situations have other considerations. These are just some general guidelines to help you and your teammates get to endgame. Alright guys, that's the video. Give this video a like if you want to see more comprehensive guides. Comment down below and subscribe. Something like 2% of you guys are subscribed, so for those of you that are, thank you so much guys. Your support means a ton to me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.